Well, a lot of you told us on social media today that you could use some news about something positive. Well, we have one for you tonight.
For nearly 20 years, 4 members of a Lamar's, Iowa family have been performing nationwide as a traveling music act, hoping to change lives for the better along the way. Tonight, meet the Browns. There is always a certain charm that can be found on the main street of a small town. On this night, the lights from a small cafe cut through the darkness in downtown Lamar's, Iowa. And so did the sound coming from this building. It is a joyful noise, but it is born out of some rough experiences.
There was a time in my life as a troubled juvenile delinquent living in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that I really needed someone to share a message with me.
For nearly 20 years, Shelley Brown has been the influence behind the Browns, a family musical group that has traveled the United States border to border and coast to coast.
We love people, and we feel like we have a message to share.
What they do is about more than music, for them and for the people who come to see them.
People have a lot of needs in their lives, no matter where they live or who they are or where they've been, what they've done.
The Browns' success is easy to see. They have recorded albums and they've made music videos that are popular on YouTube. They've written books, and just last year, they bought this century-old bank building in Lamar's, which they have now transformed into the Brown Family Music Theater.
It's been the goal of my life to give away to others.
All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher.
But the true heart of it all is the music. The Browns specialize in Southern gospel, and in that music, messages of love, understanding, and compassion.
If I could tell you the day that you're going to pass, or anybody's, I'd be a really rich person. Everybody would be lining up to come talk to me. We don't know how long we have on this earth, and we better make the moments last while we have them and make a difference in people's lives if we can.
Adam Brown is one of Shelley's sons. He shares the stage with his mother, his brother Andrew, and his sister Michaela.
We're all given different gifts, and I know that this was a gift that I was given.
God called us to do this as a family.
On the night we caught up with the Browns, they were rehearsing for a series of holiday concerts in Lamar's.
We look for those people who might be smiling, or even on, more of a serious song or a heartwarming song, there will be tears in their eyes.
Smiles and tears. Andrew Brown tells me he hopes his family's music flips a light switch for those going through hard times. A couple of years ago, a family friend said something to him that flipped a switch on the topic of making a connection with a crowd.
And I'll never forget his words. He said, "Love the people." Love the people. That's very simple.
There's not enough encouragement in the world, and because a lot of things we see and do, because we're fallen people, we're not perfect, nobody is.
For Adam Brown, the value of what he does with his family was underscored by what a man told him following what Adam thought was a normal show.
I was on my way to commit suicide, and when I heard your music, and I'm not going to do that now because you encouraged me. I thought my life was over.
The idea that music can have this kind of effect is powerful stuff.
Sometimes you want to just pinch yourself because we do feel that it's a good life. It's been wonderful.
For 16 years, the Browns have been pushing their ministry forward. But as time passes, Shelley's kids are getting older. Adam and his wife are expecting their first child soon. But all of them say they have no plans of stopping. They all believe this is exactly what they are supposed to be doing.
I'll just take a step back and the tears will well up, just thinking about, how blessed I feel we are to get to do what we do.
Oh, they were fun to spend time with. In addition to the Brown Family Theater you saw there, the family also recently purchased a former bar, and they are turning that into a banquet space for small events in Lamar's. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the Browns, you can find a link to their website on KSFY.com and the KSFY News app. Just find this story, and the link is there.
The Browns sure are doing something wonderful.
Oh, they are, and they're just so good. When you see them perform in person there, I mean, we were with them for probably an hour, maybe a little more than that, and it's just, they're electric.
I bet their story, I bet they don't even realize the impact their story has on people, too. What a great story.
Yeah,
Love it, Brian.
Yeah, they're good people.